Hi guys. You can see some participants already in the lobby, so that's good. I think that means it's working correctly. Worryingly, I don't see Ranjan, and I don't really want to have to cover for his slides.
There's still time.
Yeah.
I'll join some.
Just gonna get some water.
Alrighty.
So when we get to your slides, who's gonna start, John or Vero?
I'll cover the lot. We decided I'll cover the lot.
Okay.
Hi, Talita.
Hello, John. Good to see you.
We got about 5 minutes yet.
Okay.
Thomas or Vero, could you just see if you could see the question and answer? I just posted something in the question and answer piece just to see if that works.
Yep.
Yeah,
Works.
great. Very good.
Most obliged.
Yes. See it.
So polite. Yes.
Very good. Well, I'm British. What can I say? Okay, I see we've got someone who's already joined the call. We've got one waiting in the lobby, but I'll give it a little while longer before I start admitting people. Oh yeah, and I'm sharing the slide deck. Can you guys see the first slide?
Yes,
Very good.
thank you.
Very good, thank you.
And now we see your chat.
Okay. My chat, I think it's just the settings for the
Oh,
meeting.
okay,
I
sure.
think. Yeah, no, thank you. Always good to say.
Is my background in reverse? Is that
No,
okay?
it's not. Yeah, I needed to do that, and then I got paranoid that it was going to be reversed. So, okay, so we're hey Ranjan.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning.
Hello,
Hello.
Ryan.
Yeah, I'm going to be the odd one out without the background. Apologies for that.
Makes sense. You're the facilitator. We're just participants here.
Okay, people are starting to join now. I thought I was going to have to admit them, but it looks like the way this is set up, people can automatically join. So welcome to the 2 attendees who've joined so far. We'll just give it some time. We're 1 minute 2 yet. Okay, we're at the top of the hour now, so hopefully we should start seeing people arrive. I'll just give it some time for that. Hi there, attendees. We're just waiting for other attendees to arrive, so just giving it a little bit more time. We were actually at 97 when I checked earlier, who'd said they'd attend, so expecting a few more. Okay, we just need a few more attendees, and yeah, now it's kicking off. So more attendees than presenters. That's I'm happy with that. Very good. Welcome, guys. So we've got a 9 attendees so far, which tells me that the registration and everything is working fine. We'll just leave it another minute or 2 to allow people to arrive. Oh, and if someone who is present as an attendee, if they could just give me, you'll notice that your microphone and camera switched off, but if you could just give me a thumbs up or a signal of some kind using the reaction button at the top that you can hear and see us, that would be great, please. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Brilliant. Okay, it's 10, 11 attendees arriving now. 12. I'll actually give it just about 30 seconds or 1 more minute before I kick off, because we are a little bit on the clock if we're going to synchronize this with the other presentations today. Okay, very good. Well, thanks very much, guys, for attending. I'm the odd one out here without the official background, but I am supposed to be here. If you're expecting the transforming supporter engagement session, then you're also supposed to be here as well. And we're very glad that you're here for today's session. it's just past the hour, so we're going to kick off. We've got about 50 minutes to talk today. When we'll try and keep to that, that'll allow us some time for questions at the end as well. As you'll notice, the microphones and cameras are switched off for you, unfortunately, but we do have the questions and answers facility. So if you want to drop something in there, it's at the top of your screen. Please do so. So I'll just advance to the next slide. So these are all the people who are going to be speaking to you today. Shortly, you're going to be hearing from my colleague Ranjan from UNICEF. He's here together with Talita from UNICEF. Then my colleagues from the agency I work in, from UNHCR, Thomas, Vero, and myself there. Apologies for the photograph. It is a bit of a fright. First, you're going to be hearing Ranjan speaking, and then we're going to move over to UNHCR. And the main theme of today's presentation is using customer relationship management data to drive fundraising for humanity. UNICEF is going to talk about large-scale digital transformation through their particular project that they'll be describing. And then you're going to be hearing myself and my colleague Thomas from UNHCR talking about data-driven insights using the private sector partnerships data lake that we've built within UNHCR for fundraising and analysis. So there's going to be a range going from technical all the way down to some granular case studies. I'm pretty sure there's going to be something which will interest all of you. And please, we'll keep questions to the end, though drop them into the questions and answers when they occur to you, and we'll deal with those at the end. So without further ado, over to you, please, UNICEF, Ranjan.
Thanks. Actually, I'll be jumping in here if that's okay, John. And then I'll hand over to Ranjan. I wanted to kick off because I think it's really important to acknowledge the people who helped us to make this initiative a reality. And we all kind of came together on this initiative because we firmly believe that this is contributing, to the plight of children across the globe. As I think it's really important to say that we did this in partnership and we did it for the children. So firstly, our private sector fundraising colleagues in UNICEF, I think there's a few of them on the call. Our implementation partners, NTT Data and Nagaro, as well as Give Clarity. Of course, Salesforce for the world-class tech that they're putting into our hands to now make a difference for children. Our UNICEF executive management, who actually believes in, digital transformation and the principles of the quintet of change as prescribed by the UN 2.0. And they gave us not only the funding and the investment to do this project, but also the support and the trust to do it. And then lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to the UN Digital Transformation Network Special Interest Group, for CRM, who created a platform for us to, amongst all the agencies in the UN, to share and support each other. So with that formality out of the way, please, I'm handing over to Ranjan, our global CRM lead and architect.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Talita. And I think good morning, good afternoon, good evening, colleagues, wherever you are. So I'm in Peru, Chile, so doing one more implementation here. So it's early morning, 7 a.m. here. I think I have some bad internet connection, so I will go off camera, right, so that I can continue to speak. So let's start with why we needed supporter-centric CRM. As you know, our supporter expectation continue to evolve. Organization like ours must adapt to be relevant. So supporter today's demand more personalized content, expect consistent and relevant engagement from us. And they're also ever more concerned about security and privacy and different regulation. And more importantly, they want to connect with us in anywhere, any device they wanted and the way they wanted. So to meet this expectation, UNICEF recognized need to invest in future fit supporter-centric CRM. So this whole project we are embracing now is about putting supporter as a core of transformation. So before we go into what we have built, let's deep dive into some of the challenges we faced. So for first and foremost, we didn't have right tools. We had a legacy CRM system which was built another time. not designed for complexity, scale, and expectation of today's supporter. Our data was fragmented. Each country offices use different tools and processes and different definition, making it really impossible for us to get that complete picture of our supporter globally. Integration system was very difficult, which led many of our offices to use on-section tool and processes, and that was creating risks for us in managing our operation. We also lacked AI and advanced analytic capability. So this essentially, forced us to miss some of the opportunity for personalization and engagement with our supporter in more proactive way. The system was slow, rigid, very hard to use, leading to frustration to our end user. So, and also those systems which were built in the past, they had security issue, vulnerabilities, and it had high maintenance cost, which was draining our resources. So essentially, in very short, this kind of outdated system were making it very hard to serve our supporter. So these challenges really slowed us down and held us back to engage with supporter the way we wanted. Let's move to the next one, John, please. Yeah, thank you. So, recognizing these challenges, UNICEF in 2019 made an organizational decision to implement supporter engagement strategy, which we call SES. SES is essentially launched as a foundation for reaching 2030 Sustainable Development Goal. And it is about transforming how we engage with supporter by listening, inspiring, and putting them at the center of everything we do. It is kind of more holistic approach built around people, processes, and technology. And one of the things we did in SES project was we launched a global reskilling program through our SES Academy that helped teams across the global to build the new generation digital skills and also adopt new ways of working within offices as well as globally and also with our supporter. I think this is something which is often overlooked in large digital transformation initiative, but we kind of tackled that from the start. We have completely overhauled operational processes through a focused 6 to 8 month transformation project in each country, making supporter engagement kind more of agile and also impactful to our offices. So to do this, we partner with Salesforce that provided us tool, processes, and capability for personalization, automation, and also scale supporter engagement at the speed and the scale we wanted. So let's move to the next one. So as you can see, right, this supporter-centric CRM truly aligns with UN 2.0 quantitative change. This as a CRM is kind of cross-cutting. So with fit for purpose CRM, we can not only modernize how we operate, but we can reimagine building relationship with our supporter in a different way, using data, digital innovation, insight, and so on. So with these 5 enabler, CRM is positioning us as a powerful, mechanism to drive result in this dynamic and ever evolving landscape. So I think in the later part of this presentation, we'll deep dive a little more about this foresight and behavior, right? From our colleagues from UNHCR, they will deep dive into this. So let's not go there. Maybe next one, John, please. So where we are now in this whole journey, as I said, we started this one is, thank you. So we started our this journey in 2019 with a pilot in India. And since then, we are in the very, very accelerated pace to roll out this solution globally. We have now this platform in 21 countries across the globe, from Asia, Africa, Europe, Latin America, like country from Mexico to Colombia, in Latin America to India, Indonesia, in Asia. So this platform serves globally. And we also have 3+ regional hub, which is kind of built around the cluster approach for providing digital fundraising in the new and emerging market. So essentially, we have a strategy to be fundraising in many markets, right, diversifying our digital channel. So we have kind of take on this cluster approach, where a cluster can serve multiple market on that region. Yeah, maybe next one, John, now. Yeah. So this is really interesting, right? So let's now look about on our architecture. You can see here we have this future-ready digital platform which is built on Salesforce foundation, and we are using Salesforce NPSP product, which is a product kind of developed by Salesforce for not-for-profit. And in addition to that, we have also developed our own core package, which is the business application we have built and we are managing, and it's hosted in Salesforce App Exchange. So essentially, this package contains the features that can be scaled in globally with a click of button, right? It's like, like this package is like installing an app in our smartphone, right? So any offices, if they want to use this app, they can simply go into Salesforce and download and start using. So we have also enabled our platform using different industry standard tools and accelerator like a CTI, which is telephony, computer integration, digital engagement. So for example, in Uruguay, we are providing the autonomous service bot for our supporter, which they can use to interact with UNICEF on 24/7 through a WhatsApp as a channel. So they can go WhatsApp and they can say that, hey, I want to donate, I want to change my phone number, I want to change my email, etc. So all these services can help we were automating that processes using this kind of industry standard tools. So our platform also supports true omni-channel communication across email, SMS, WhatsApp, web, social platform. So that really helps us provide very consistent supporter experience. So, and one more important thing is this platform is built on robust privacy and consent standard. I'm now in Peru. I was talking with the colleagues here other day, and they're saying that the Peru this data privacy regulation is coming very strong. So, and in our platform, we already have built, those kind of, standards. So they don't need to reinvent anything. They can start using this platform, no matter, what kind of regulation it comes locally. And our platform is PCI compliance, and we have also implemented latest security standard. Our platform supports things like, zero trust policy, least privilege access. So these are the, industry standards. So we have built our platform considering those as our foundational block. The platform also offers real-time integration and provides number of automation capabilities. Historically, our offices have to do 20 manual steps to send a payment request to the bank, but now that happens automatically overnight. So the platform is also AI enabled, that allows us to be make smarter decision, provide smarter insight and engagement, and more importantly, this is modular. As you can see in the diagram, right? It's very modular. That means we can make changes in one part of the application without kind of affecting the other part. So it's very modular. So that modularization is on the cornerstone of our technical architecture. So essentially, what I can say is our platform is scalable, is connected, it's also intelligent, it has AI capability, and the most important from our support perspective, it provides highly personalized engagement with our supporter. Okay, so yeah. So this is, I think, the last slide I have. So, we have this great platform, right? But how do we actually keep this into our offices, keep this into life? Let's talk a little bit about rollout strategy. And one of the reason for delay in many digital transformation initiative is we lack kind of structured delivery models. I'm sure we have, most of us experience this in one form or other in any digital transformation project. So we essentially tackle this through a hybrid project management approach, combining agile flexibility with waterfall discipline for global best practices, scope management, alignment. As you know, UN is highly decentralized, right? So we need to, when we try to implement, we need to go with country office with that kind of scope management is very important. So that the scope doesn't, changes as we move into the implementation phase. So based on learning, we developed 5-stage implementation methodology, which are this. You can see preparedness, implementation, go live, and business uplift. So these are essentially structured to ensure smooth, effective, and scalable rollout of solution. So it will cover areas like readiness assessment, solution design, system development, data migration, testing, and more importantly, we regularly monitor the performance of our system so that we can drive sustained business results, so that we have built into our processes. So with this, I'm going to stop, but what I want to share is, with this project we learn a lot, on the challenges of rollout, the architectural challenge that may come along the way, with this ever changing technical landscape, and also the challenges related to change management. So we have a lot of experience. So we welcome you to come and speak with us if you want to learn from our mistakes, from our lessons, and etc. So let's stay connected. Thank you. And with this, I will hand over to John.
Thanks, Ranjan. Amazing. And it doesn't sound like there was too many mistakes there, but yeah, great for that offer of partnership there and learning. Just before I hand over to Thomas, who's going to take the UNHCR piece, just remember there's the Q&A function at the top of your screen there. If you've got any questions for Ranjan or any of the other speakers as we progress, please put them in there. So Thomas, the floor is yours.
Hi. Do you hear me well?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Good. Yeah, so I'm Thomas Jacobsen. I'm a product lead for UNHCR's Google Cloud presence. So yeah, next slide, please. So I'm going to tell you about our PSP data lake for fundraising analysis. It's PSP data lake is our data warehouse implementation in Google Cloud BigQuery, where we are replicating data from all our CRM systems instances across our PSP offices. In one analytics platform, we bring data from the CRM, from the marketing automation platform, from website analytics, SoMe monitoring, and digital ad platforms. And we enable analysts to do cross-system and cross-market analysis, reports, and predictive models. And there's a bidirectional integration with Salesforce where we can add calculations from the less expensive BigQuery and offload the Salesforce to do these calculations. And we can enrich with segmentation codes or channel and campaign information from our web analytics. Next slide, please. So before, and that was back in 2018, we were extracting data from Salesforce and Google Analytics manually and managing all the data in Excel. We did deliver some beautiful and proper reporting back then, but each round took us a lot of time to prepare. Next slide, John. So we then decided on two major important changes. One was subscribing to the Google Analytics 360, which is the enterprise and paid version, giving us an instant option to export Google Analytics data raw data to BigQuery with a few clicks. And we created an account with Google Cloud to get access to this BigQuery data. This allowed us to automate the flow from data extraction, transformation, and updating reports. We could get granular with data cleaning and deliver more detailed page and button level analytics. So at this point, I would like to do a shout out to my colleague Smriti Belbes, who used to work with developing global advocacy and supporter campaigns. And when I say step with refugees, at least me, I think both of us need to step back and do a face palm and deep breaths, reminding us that you need to work really carefully on setting up measurement and data collection in order not to end up with useless megabytes of data. So that's something that's outside this platform, but very important. And another shout out to Lucia Caviccioli and Suzanne Tremblay, who I work closely with on data protection topics and data privacy and data sharing agreements. And this is another around the data lake topic that is never ending, but very important to make us available to do this job, that donors are informed of we're doing this kind of work outside the transactional data that we were keeping for donations. So from this pilot, we started adding more data sources and more markets and source platform accounts during 2019, 20, and 21, and so forth. So next slide, John. Oh, my voice already. What is Google BigQuery? So BigQuery is a very big calculation analytics machine with limitless storage and fast, powerful analysis using SQL or built-in machine learning or AI functionality. It's a pay-as-you-go for storage and CPU time, and it's fully managed by Google. Next slide. So here's a visualization of the extract and ingest side of the architecture. We have our data sources on the left, using a combination of Google built-in extract, load, and transformation tools and some third-party ETL tools. BigQuery data transfer, Google Analytics, and later Google Ads. Google Cloud API for lesser-known sources like our media monitoring tool, and then Google Cloud Data Fusion for Salesforce, and later on our new marketing automation tool called Selligent. It's now called Marigold, but we keep the name Selligent. Data Fusion is an excellent toolbox. It has done a lot of good for us, but it's expensive. So before deciding to go with Data Fusion, please reach out to me and I will share pros and cons another time. As I said, we've gradually started to use other third-party tools which can do better and less expensive bidirectional connections with Salesforce. Next slide, John. Right, we then ingest everything into BigQuery, and I think we're going to need the next slide already here. So where we start the transformation process and logically start separating the data. So again, using Data Fusion, but it could just be scheduled and orchestrated collection of SQL scripts, where we clean the raw data for errors and add categorizations like geo or channel and segment into the curated data tables, regional and market level subsets. And finally, we transform these new data sets to analytics data marts that bring only the data fields that the analysts need for their work, including adding calculated fields or combining data from multiple data sources. Next slide. So adding up all these extraction and transformation pipelines and multiplying by number of markets and platform accounts, we end up with over 500 pipelines, almost 500 pipelines, and automated jobs that our team needs to manage and monitor. And on the next slide, so there you go, we end up with almost now 20 terabytes of data, adding 1.5 every month. Which cost us less than around $200 per month. It's the analysis that starts taking, so the CPU time to crunch analysis. But this bill here just shows us that data is being used, which is it's a good thing. And there's more to the billing, but these are the basics. Next slide. So finally, here on the right, we have the consumption layer. We've used Power BI for the visualization, but the platform can connect to any of the major data visualization tools, including Google's own Looker. In the middle, we have data activation, so we can push selections back to Salesforce or the marketing automation platform for sending out email, SMS, WhatsApp campaigns, etc. on target groups that we identified using the analysis. Or we can connect to Meta Ads or Google Marketing Platform. And finally, and that's maybe the step before there, we have the ability for analysts to use Python or R, or the built-in features in Google BigQuery for machine learning or Vertex AI, which allows them to use notebooks for ad hoc analysis and Vertex AI for predictive modeling. Next one, which is about use cases. So some of these we had from the very outset, and some of these we added along the way, and I'm sure there will be much more in the future. John is going to mention or detail some of these. I'm just going to mention a few here. So in the middle, the Donor 360 model is something that we recently migrated from Microsoft Azure platform. It takes a CRM data and transforms into a unified data model that's agnostic to the source CRM system. So it's presented to an analyst, and it doesn't matter which CRM system it came from. And this is used for modeling our retention and predicted lifetime value. And it will be now in this platform, it will be updated more frequently, and I'm sure have many more new use cases and more analysts that can access. And the last two lines there is something that's not directly related to the analysis, but we can use the GCP platform as well, and the tools there to integrate between Salesforce and the marketing automation system, so that new email subscribers and donors and their content status is exchanged every 4 hours. Something that's automatic if you have Salesforce Marketing Cloud, but we don't, so we have to build this integration. And then off-platform calculation, I already mentioned that we can offload work from Salesforce and even enrich the data back to Salesforce. Last slide for me, John. So this, so all of the above is managed by a team of cloud data engineers. And so they manage and develop this data infrastructure for all UNHCR fundraising markets. So one often expects that data analysts to run a project where they spend maybe 25% on preparation, defining KPIs, collecting data, and building the infrastructure where to store the data and get ready for analysis, and then almost 74% on building the model and fine-tuning the model, and then we're ready to implement the recommendations with the last 1% of the time. Where in reality, it looks something like the lower bar chart there, where we spent 75% on the preparation steps, and then percentage of all the time less on the analysis. But with this setup and our team, we are our data engineers have first of all almost automated these steps and a lot of work, and then we can handle new development, additional data transformations, and allowing the data analysts to focus on the green field, which then should be a lush random walk in the forest. Right, John?
Excellent, Thomas. Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to well, I think we're already walking in those forests. Thank you. Thanks, guys. There's already some questions appeared in the chat there, and I'll check again after I've made my presentation just to check we haven't missed anything. We'll come to those questions at the end. We're doing really well for time. Thanks for that, guys. So everything I'm going to present to you now in the next 10 minutes or so, I mean, this is thanks to the work of Thomas and his team, and also thanks to my excellent colleague Vero, who was mentioned in that first introduction slide at the start of the presentation. So thanks to that, you know, this kind of work is definitely always about teamwork and not individual work. So I just want to address some of the key issues, the key cases that we've been able to do with having access to the kind of data lake structure that Thomas has been describing, or even the, you know, or also the CRM capabilities that Ranjan was describing as well. Even these are UNHCR examples. This could definitely be applied to everything that UNICEF was talking about. So the key needs we have, which were addressed by the data lake, by having the data lake and moving away from the Excel hell, which Thomas described earlier. So we've got 31 fundraising markets, which are making hundreds of millions of dollars, and we need real-time reporting of those. Now, we've got all the financial systems, which are collecting information from the banks and which markets are compiling, but the latency of this can be weeks. What we need is reporting which gives us, you know, 24-hour latency data at, you know, at the very least, and that's where we are. So that's huge for us to be able to have that capability. We needed standardized emergency and income reporting. We've got a range of markets using different CRM platforms. We need to standardize that into one way, so when we're talking about an acquired donor or a retained donor, everyone knows what we're talking about. We also needed the capability for timely reporting. We talked about that, and forecasting as well for market teams and management. And then finally, advanced segmentation and predictive analytics. our reporting capabilities are excellent, but we also want to look forwards into the future and say, you know, what's likely to happen in a month's time or 6 months' time. And we also want to use that to enhance our fundraising performance, which is more important than ever before, and also to improve supporter engagement, not just to get donations from individual giving, but also to increase advocacy, increase the brand, and things like that. So with that sort of daily reporting capability, here's some examples of this. So we have the data lake powering global dashboards built on the Power BI platform, which has got near real-time emergency income data. That's updated every 24 hours. It could be pushed to 12 hours, but we've actually found that 24 hours seems to be more than sufficient for most of our end user needs. Why is this useful? Well, it enables markets to benchmark performance against each other. We can identify top performing creatives from common platforms like Meta and Google search ads. We can identify which email campaigns are performing well. And these are things that other markets can learn from. Hey, you're using that creative. It seems to work really well. Maybe we could use that as well. It also allows HQ to identify markets which would benefit from additional support. And the chart up on the right there, that's just a screenshot of one of these dashboards. And you can see that this is the period in February 2022. This was the start of the Ukraine emergency, and suddenly we have this huge spike in fundraising, as I'm sure other agencies here also experienced and other fundraisers. And this allows us to see like which markets could do with a boost in their fundraising, and we can see this very, very quickly. It also provides visibility onto the scale of the fundraising, that we can see that the velocity of a particular emergency matches or exceeds another emergency. We can make an assumption about the length of time it's likely to continue. And as Thomas was explaining, this is all built on data marts in the data lake, which then regional and market level analysts can access. Speaking of regional analysts or market level analysts, because we've got this data in the data lake, whether it's CRM data, Google Analytics data, data from their advertising platforms, they can build bespoke dashboards for themselves. This is one that I've created for the particular fundraising activities that we do in the team that I'm part of. And you can see it allows me to have the flexibility to not only show total income, but also to identify the labels that we use in our reporting: one-off donations, committed donations, income, and donor numbers. And so it not only allows the regional analyst or the market analyst to show performance against targets, to easily report up to the global financial platforms as well. Thomas mentioned Donor 360. I just think it's very useful to include one slide of that here, because it is so important that we're using the data lake to have these tables of standardized data, including supporter, transaction, communication data. And it means when management say, what's the trends in acquisition versus this year versus last year, we can give, or the team working with this can give a figure to that, can give trends to that, and allow those year-on-year comparisons where we can see the large-scale changes which are happening in our fundraising. So incredibly useful data source, and the use of that is facilitated by the data lake. So that was a little bit about the past. We also want to look to the future as well. And it's, you know, again, something Thomas was talking about there in his last slide. I think those of you here that are analysts, you're well aware that we spend a lot of our time after we've been cleaning data. We're doing a lot of, and figuring out how to get date formats to work in Power BI. We're doing a lot of stuff with reporting, and not so much of looking forwards, predicting. And part of the barrier to that is it can require a skill set, a data scientist skill set, which is different to the skill set of an analyst, but it can also be expensive to do and complex. And one of the things I'm going to show you now is how we've managed to accelerate that process within UNHCR, building on all the great work which has already been done with predictive analytics. to make it even faster by using the power of the data lake, which helps us drive supporter engagements and helps us focus very much restricted budgets on donors and advocates who will respond positively to those interventions. So I'm talking about machine learning. And this is a subfield of artificial intelligence where we're allowing algorithms to learn from data and make predictions of future outcomes. And the future outcome could be, are you going to make a donation in the next month? Are you going to churn if you're a regular donor? Are you going to stop your subscription to us and stop giving us money? And this is being deployed in two ways in our data lake, either by custom models, which are built using Python notebooks inside the Google Cloud Platform, or using automated machine learning. And I'm going to give two examples of both of these in the last few minutes when I'm talking here. So the custom model that we built, this was built in 2024, and it's been used both in 2024 and 2025. And the main aim of this model was to optimize budgets used on expensive marketing channels, such as WhatsApp and telemarketing. We're probably all donors in one form or another to organizations, and you know that it's not much fun being spammed by constant requests for money when maybe you don't want to donate anymore. What this is enabling us to do is to identify the people who are most likely to donate and target them selectively, save and optimize our budgets, and hopefully it gives us the ability to treat people who are less likely to donate in a different way. They can still help us, but maybe at this point in time we can communicate with them a different message than donations. But the main intent here was to make the return on investment with these channels better. This was applied to a Salesforce database containing thousands of donors. And basically it predicts the ability of the donor to donate again. Each donor, and this is anonymized data, each donor is getting a score which basically says their likelihood to donate again. We then split the donor database into 10 equal parts, each of which is called a decile. The best ones are in decile 1, the donors most likely to donate. The ones least likely to donate are in decile 10. So straight away, we've got an awesome segmentation. This is what it looks like. So you can see what we're doing is, now we've got the model, we're saying, in reality, what do these donors actually do? And what we want to see is a chart like this one on the left, where we see most of the income coming from deciles 1 and 2, and then sliding away as we go to decile 10, declining, and these are the donors which the model said would donate the least. And so the deciles, these are the model predictions based only on the data that it's learned from. The blue bars are the actual income compared to these donors, and we can see that there's a very, very good match with most income coming from deciles 1 and 2, the best deciles, and then declining away. If the model didn't work, or it didn't work very well, we'd see a more random distribution or an even distribution. We wouldn't see this kind of pattern. So this gives us a lot of confidence in the performance of this model. So this was the custom model built in a Python notebook, deployed in Vertex AI and Google Cloud Platform. Confidently predicted who would be most likely to donate. By focusing on these donors, the market achieved, and this was deployed in one particular market and region, significant improvements in the return of investment on these marketing channels, these expensive channels of WhatsApp and telemarketing, extremely high conversion rates, and the most income from these decile 1 donors. So really, really successful project here. The cost for this, there was a significant, I would say, probably about 3 or 4 weeks of development time of the model itself, but the actual processing cost of running the model in Vertex AI, it's less than $100 train the model, and then do a batch prediction, and extremely fast, several hours to do those things. So, you know, once you've got the model working, then it's something which can be deployed and refreshed within a day. So very, very fast to use. One of the other ways that we've approached this is by using automated machine learning, AutoML, and this is functionality which exists within Vertex AI, and it allows you to use no-code or low-code options for creating this kind of model. So the schematic there, again, we're taking data from Salesforce, we're putting a table of that data in a BigQuery. We're using SQL to create that. We're then sending that to Vertex AI. That's where the AutoML does its magic. And then we're sending that data back to Salesforce. So now the marketing person who's creating the email lists or the SMS lists, the text messaging lists, or telemarketing, whatever it is, it's there in the platform that they're familiar with. So this is really seamless. Significantly, this could be deployed by an analyst. Yes, you probably do want some data science skills to understand when the model may be starting to drift and what might be affecting it. But with support, this is something that an analyst can be doing. And again, in this case, the features table took the most time to build. That's the data the model learns from. That took around, 5 days, 6 days, working days. But a low cost to deploy. Each run, again, costing less than $100 and taking only a few hours. So, and this is predicting if someone's going to donate or not, just as the last one did. So this, to me, is just super significant. This takes the kind of sort of mystique of machine learning, and with the right skill set, you can deploy it quickly and efficiently in the data lake, and this is something which can be scaled across different markets. So, you know, very, very important piece of work, I believe. And again, here, I mean, you know, we're not messing around with this. This was deployed on 500,000 donors in a European market, email and SMS campaigns. Once again, we see that the model is doing its business, that the deciles 1 and 2, that's where we're getting the most income from. Deciles 9 and 10, conversely, are showing little or low performance. And with this knowledge, the market can then say to their head of individual giving, this is how we change our strategy. We don't talk to these guys in the same way anymore. And at the same time, maybe we don't talk to our best donors as predicted by the model in the same way anymore. We can treat them different and optimize that engagement that we can expect to get from them. So yeah, very successful. So that's my little piece over, and colleagues are welcome to chip back in here. But just to summarize, we've talked about customer relationship management driven fundraising for humanity. We've given you examples of where we're using UNICEF, using examples of using the platform developed, powered by Salesforce. And we've also talked about UNHCR using the Google Cloud Platform BigQuery. Both platforms, both approaches, completely AI enabled. And as I hope I showed in that example, you know, we can accelerate fundraising significantly, and we can optimize those budgets that we've got to help the people who need it most. The platforms that we've described, these are world-class platforms. This is completely enterprise level activities with the capability to support and continue the work to support the sustainable development goals. So if you want to learn more or you want to partner up, please reach out to us. We're happy to answer questions. As you can tell, this was extremely high level, but we'll be more than happy to go into to more details if you reach out. So with that, we've got several new questions which have appeared in the questions here. I'm just making sure I haven't missed any. I'm aware that there's another
for you, which is actually a really interesting question. What was the reason to pick BigQuery? How does this compare against Microsoft Fabric, Snowflake, AWS Redshift?
Thomas, you've already added to that, but do you want to add any words to it?
Basically what I've been there. So yes, starting out, good integration with other Google tools. We already had Google Analytics, as I mentioned. It was very easy export, and there's a great community out there. It's have a very open sourcey feel. I mean, it's Google proprietary, and the price was competitive, and yeah, it was easy to get running with this.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
You see the question on the parameter, right? Can I read it for you?
Aha, I've got it. Yes, thank you,
Okay,
thank
great.
you. Yeah, so what parameter from the source data had the highest weight in the prediction? Was there any A/B testing done to check if the outcome is because of predictive model effectiveness or because more focus being put on decile 1? So yeah, great question there. So in the first model I described, we looked at the main features we used were donor behavior, the donation history of the donor, and also their email engagement as well. And the single biggest feature was their most recent donation behavior, as in how recent was their last donation. So, but then it's a sliding scale under that. There's a number of other factors. When we did the auto ML, one of the nice things with that piece of work was that was purely donation behavior, which gave us a very, very robust model. We tested it against actuals before anything special was done to decile 1, and we saw the distribution that I showed you there. That, you know, when we had mod donors that were flagged as being potentially good donors, these were the donors in reality who were giving us donations. So we're very confident on that part of the the model. So I hope that answers your question. And, you know, please reach out later if you need more answers. Great, and Vero has answered there as well. Yes, and A/B tests were significantly better. Great, and I think Talita, you answered some of the questions as well, which were in there. So we are absolutely bang on time. Yeah, Scylla, apologies if I've not pronounced your name properly there. Thomas gave you an answer to that question, so great. I think everyone's got answers to the questions they posed. So
I think just one.
Yeah.
I think it's asking for the material to be shared, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. So probably we will do that. I'm not sure if we have all the email addresses of the
We do.
attendees, but certainly
We do.
we can share. Great.
Yeah, we have all the details there, so we can share those. So that's great. So
Thank you.
yeah, so just leaves me to say thanks to the other speakers. This has been really nice for us, for myself and colleagues from UNHCR, to have more contact with UNICEF. It definitely needs to happen more. Thanks to everyone who participated. We really appreciate your time. I hope you learned something and you were able to take something away from this. And yeah, please reach out to us if you have any questions. So thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah. Thanks all for attending.